Hello, people. I am playing Ultra Kill because I don't know, I was bored and I haven't played this game for ages. I keep playing White Knuckle and I really like White Knuckle, but like my real like hyperfixation is Ultra Kill. Also, okay, for people, well, no one's watching my videos, but it's fine. If anyone does, I got a VTuber, PNG tuber. Sorry, I'm never doing a VTuber. I'm not that technical, like good. Um. Yeah, it's really cool. I love it. I don't know. It's so dumb. I'm quite proud of myself, even though it was like the easiest thing ever. But it's fine. Anyway, yeah, I'm playing Violence because it's fun, and I haven't played Ultra Kill for ages. Hopefully I still don't suck. Okay, wait. Don't suck. There we go. Anyway, yeah. So, I've had loads of time on my hands because summer. I finished a lot of exams, so I get to like, I don't know, yeah. Although I haven't been making many videos. I keep saying I do, but I will. I keep saying I will, but like, I don't know. I have better things to do with my life. It's still fun though. I like doing this. Like, even though no one watches it, just for like myself. I really like Violence. I think everyone really likes Violence because that's not what I meant to do. Because it's Violence. I mean, all of Act 3, I think it's a massive step up in quality, narratively, and gameplay-wise. Also, level design, holy shit, fraud. But Violence specifically has a really cool feel to it. I like how it's like the first kind of real subversion, in that we're introduced to this aesthetic and it's completely flipped on its head by 7-2. And we're kind of more reflective on the narrative, V2's place in the narrative. Sorry, not V2, V1. V2 is dead, guys. I don't know if you knew, but Keith was quite insistent. But yeah, I don't know. I guess like everyone knows this already. Part of me like fears. I mean, I don't know. It might be a bit more obvious to other people who are playing it for the first time, or maybe less, to be honest. But like, part of me fears it's only this narratively complex in Act 3 because Hikita kind of like, I don't know. Again, I don't want to speak to him for him, but maybe, I don't know. When he first made this, I'm sure he didn't have the plans to make it as narratively complex and meaningful. In my opinion, I don't know. When I look at like the early builds of Preludes, which is fine, like obviously, but I feel like as this game got more popular after the release of Act 2, he kind of took that a lot further because he kind of cemented the kind of narrative he wanted to tell. Which, like, that's cool. I'm really glad we're at that point because, like, I love Ultra's narrative. It's very subversive and, like, even, like, the game design is subversive in that, like, you start the game in this state of mind where you're like, oh, sunny, fun game. But again, that could be, like, conducive of what I'm talking about now, in that he didn't really plan for it at the start and it kind of creates a tonal whiplash. That doesn't really work. Again, I don't know, because in my perspective it does. But then I've been playing this game since release of Act 2, so I don't really have the hindsight of the full game. I don't know. And then obviously I guess Revamp fixed a lot of that a bit, in that we kind of get the snippets in, well, obviously we have Lust City being more prominent, and, what's the word? Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in Limbo, like the ferryman statues and the skulls and the alchemical symbols. It's, you know, it kind of knows what it's more about. Okay, don't die. I hate this fucking boss fight. Everyone hates this fucking boss fight. Okay, that missed all of you. Fuck you, I guess. But, you know, to be fair, Prime Souls were quite early on. But then would that be so apparent to a new player who would probably experience them after beating the game? Well, not probably, definitely, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, it does show that Akita probably knew he wanted a more meaningful narrative, which is cool. From like, not the start maybe, but definitely Minos Prime had some interesting implications. Also, the flesh prisms in the eyes, I guess, yeah, that's true. And the testaments, what am I on about actually? You know what? Maybe he did plan for all of this. Like the testaments in the secret levels. The only reason I'm thinking about this is because I saw like a really good video by a guy, a 6-hour like a 6-hour review, which honestly, like, so fair. If someone asked me to write a review of this entire game, I would also make a 6-hour video. But like, you know, it was interesting because he was going through the whole narrative and he grasped it pretty well. Um, like as a first time player, which I think was really cool. And yeah, it just got me thinking about it as a whole, like how it gets a lot more narratively complex by Act 3, and it's a very sudden shift. Like, even like the cutscene between uh, Gabriel's second boss fight, it's very like, it goes far. But then I guess we get a taste of that in like the corruption of heaven in his first cutscene, so, you know. Anyway, P rank, yippee. It's a very slow P rank, but I'll take it. And then obviously fraud is like, yeah, fraud is my favorite layer. Even if it's a bit buggy, I think once the bugs get fixed, it's gonna be like really awesome sauce. It's so cool. It's so cool. I haven't actually talked about it yet because when it came out, I was like starting to study for my exams, which was like so awesome. That was an awesome sharpshooter, by the way. So yeah, I played through it. Like, I took a week off just to play it because this game is that important to me. And then like I didn't touch it again because I had to study. But now I can, which is awesome. I love it so much. It's so cool. It's, yeah, I don't know. You probably hear everyone gushing about it. It is just a really unique layer. It's probably the most unique in the game, like stylistically, like in a visual way. Well, not even visual, just in the in its atmosphere. So that's music, sound. I said music, but you know, visuals. The momentum of the levels, like its pacing, is very different, I feel. Which makes sense. It's just, yeah, it's really cool. I love it. We'll talk about it when I get to it, if I get to it. I probably will get to it because violence is quite quick. I don't know. And I really like how it advances on what is set and kind of like subverts what is set up in violence through like hell and like the blood trees and stuff. Like, violence is a much more dramatic and purposeful retelling and like of like Hell's story, not story, but you know, character, whatever. And Fraud is a very much more like, it gets rid of the mask. Ironically, it gets rid of the mask by introducing the mask of like this pretense and like holy significance, and like this feels very, violence feels very I don't know how to put it. It feels very biblical, that's the word. Whereas Fraud is a much more human look at it, if that makes sense. It's very much more like modern perspective. Ironically, because like its style is so much more modern, but it's looking at the machines and their fraud and God's fraud. And it's kind of how subverting that idea of biblical accuracy and like this dramatic kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Like 7-1 is so, it's so disconnected from humanity, if that makes sense. Like, it isn't a normal building you would see in like human architecture. It's very like fantastical. I think that's the word I'm trying to look for. Whereas violence is like, its aesthetic itself is so much more human, and it's kind of subverting what you expect from like hell to be like this fantastical place of torture. Like even Heresy is a really good example. And I really like Fraud for that. And it kind of makes it like that much more fucked up. Because it's like that contrast between, okay, it's more normal, but you can notice the differences of like how fucking much suffering there is. And I guess 7-2 is kind of a reflection of that, in that it's the more realistic interpretation of violence. But then again, it's also a bit fantastical with like the sheer like magnitude of the final war, which I think works for like conveying the extent of violence. Okay, like, I haven't done that for so long. I love that. I love just freezing rockets and like trapping an enemy because like big explosion makes brain go woo. It's very cool. One thing I do love about this update is this. Like, I can't stop doing this in Cybergrind. It's so fun. It's very cool. I'm glad they did it because it's just, it makes rocket riding that much more dynamic and momentum based. It's cool. Not momentum based like physically, just like in like the pacing of how you interact with it. You don't need to stop so much with freezing of rockets and blah 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 blah. Of course you can like learn to do the thing where you like, yeah, I can't do it, but you know, but that's a very like, I don't know, that feels much more technical for like a casual player. Actually, speaking of rockets, that video I saw, the 6 hour one, I'll put it in the description because I'm yapping about it a lot. So the guy really struggled on A-3, specifically like the, what do we call it? Space section. Which was really interesting to me, and I think it's literally just because Hikita kind of overestimated his first time players and gave it like the perspective, designed it with from the perspective of like an early access player who would know a lot more tech and they're much more confident in their aerial movement, blah 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 blah. Like the whole section, like you need to have control over how you're moving, just because you can't really rely on staying on a surface. Which is a shame. I hope like Hikita one day he goes back and like revamps some of like the combat encounters, or even the level, like the construction of the level design, because I feel like it's some parts like that he's kind of made a miscalculation, and it was really bad for him. Like he was really struggling, and it seemed not fun at all, which was a real shame because A-3 is like my favorite level, but because it's so like unfriendly to first time players, a lot of them are not gonna like it. But yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, like I hope one day Hikita goes back and like changes some stuff. Like it's not even that big. I don't know why I let that play out. I don't know, just small stuff like that. I don't know. I think like I watched the Linguini video and he gave like a pretty good suggestion. He said like teach to play rocket riding, like just in that section, like give a little pop up like the knuckle blaster thing. I think he might be like Hikita might be able to find a way to do it like in universe tutorial, but like, again, it's not a super big deal if he doesn't. But like that's a really good idea because like rocket riding is quite an integral part of the rocket launcher, and it's just really cool tech, like really cool tech. So it'd be a shame if a new player doesn't get to experience that. What? Okay, I forget this takes like fucking ages. And I think, I don't know, just in my opinion, Hikita should like reduce the size of the dead zones where like if you fall past a certain point you take damage and you're teleported back. I think, I don't know, they feel a bit like too close, even for me. Like on my first playthrough it was like, okay, I'm dead already, jeez. Not dead, but you know, I've taken damage already, and it's like, oh, awesome. It's not terrible, it's just a really small nitpick. I have a lot of really small nitpicks for this game just because I know it so well. But I wouldn't be upset if they didn't get fixed. I think like that's why I love revamps so much. Like that and Violence are my favorite updates by far. I still don't know about if I like revamp or Violence more. But I think sorry, not Violence, Fraud, idiot. Yeah, I like the Fraud update better than Violence. Hello, Earthmover. But yeah, I don't know. Fraud was an awesome update. The only thing I didn't like about the revamp was 1-E. Also, no, I like 0-E a lot. 0-E is really cool. I just wish it was more open. Like, there was some small parts of 0-E that I really didn't like. Like, the Maurice room. You know the one I'm talking about? That's terrible, in my opinion. That's one of the worst, like, level design choices in this game. I don't know what Hikita was thinking. He just needs to make the room a little bit more open and it would be fine. I love the idea of constantly, idled Maurice, because that's cool. It's very oppressive. Not in that smaller room. It's far too oppressive and you don't get the chance to retaliate without, like, you know, it just feels very awkward. I don't know how to describe it. But it's just, yeah, I don't like it. But, you know, that and like one or two other rooms, but other than that, 0-E is really cool. 1-E, however, I like 1-E for like what it's trying to go for with like its gimmick of like the screens, but then part of me feels like it's a bit out of place. I don't know. I love the this melancholic like start and all the music at the start. I think that's really cool. That's my favorite part of 1-E. And again, I like the gimmick and I like the music after the shift, but it just feels a bit forced. I don't know how to describe it. It felt very like it's a tonal whiplash. Obviously, it's supposed to be on purpose, but it doesn't feel like it's directly contrasting enough. I don't know how to describe it. It feels a bit, not random, just contrived. Yeah, contrived is the right word. But it's fine. I hope they redo some parts on Wadashi, and obviously, like, the boss fight is... Okay, wait, where is it? Oh, okay, you won't even suck, that's good. But there is... No, there's not. Nice. But you know, Wadashi. It's fine. The boss fight... You know, I was thinking about the boss fight earlier. I think literally the one change that would help it is you make the hideous mass initially radiant, not idled, and you make the two swords machines radiant. Sorry, idled, not radiant. You just literally switch that, like, switch the two. I think that would help it so much. Just because the hideous mass idled is so oppressive, and it takes up, like, physically so much space. And the fact you can't, like, hit it and it just bounces off. If you hit, like, it with a projectile and stuff, it feels very claustrophobic. The broom is far too small. Which is why I think if the player gets a chance to kill it quickly, because you can do that with hideous masses, and it's radiant, so it's still a challenge, then it makes the swords machines, they're oppressive, but they're more actively and dynamically oppressive. Like, you can parry them quite a lot more. Isn't there supposed to be soldiers that spawn here? Oh yeah, there you are. Whereas, like, the hideous mass, like, all of its parries are quite hard. Like, the mortars, is that what they're called? The little explosion things it sends up. Like, they're not too hard to parry, but you have to be looking up a lot, which is hard to do when you're fighting two swords machines. And the harpoon is just, I don't know, the harpoon. There you are, gosh. I didn't even parry you. Fuck you. There you go. Whereas the swords machines, they're a lot more actively parryable. Like, you can, but they do a lot of damage. So, like, you can't just calm down. Once you're parrying one, another might be attacking you. Honestly, I think that change would fix it. I mean, I'm not a game designer, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, just try it out, maybe. Because that boss fight is really poorly designed. It kind of just feels like you're throwing shit at the wall. Agni and Tundra, like, they feel like more of a secret, gimmicky, like, joke boss, and that's why it feels kind of, like, tonally a bit weird to include them, in my opinion. Like, I don't know if you would include Angry and Rude into, Heresy Encore. I hope not, at least. Angry and Rude feel far too, like, jokey. Okay, that was an awesome Malrail. I definitely meant to do that. I think one day he will go back to redo Wandashi, because it does feel rushed, and Hikita's a perfectionist. I hope he does, at least. Because it would make the Encore so much better, especially that introduction to the Encores that Zerodashi and Wandashi are. I think Zerodashi is a perfect introduction in that it's establishing this idea of direct subversion and contrast with, like, the cold. But, I don't know. On Dashi, less so. It feels more, contrived, and, yeah. Also, what the fuck is going on with this thing? Why can't they just let this open up as quick as before? I hate that. Like, I can't tell if it's on purpose. Because if it's on purpose, what the fuck are they thinking? Like, what does it add to the gameplay? It kind of just confuses players a bit. I don't know. I don't get it. It felt specifically designed so that the idol would push you off into the thing before. And now it's just like, no. I don't know. It's annoying. But oh well. It's a cool level outside of that. Like, Seven Dash Roll is one of the best levels in this game. It's awesome. I love it. It's very linear. Not linear, but, like, progressively coherent. A lot of the levels in this game can be quite abstract in their progression. I mean, like, sometimes that's purposeful. Sometimes not so. But, like, it's cool when we get a level like 7-4 where you can, like, see you're physically making progress. Anyway. Cool explanation. I've seen people criticize, like, how this kind of looks like Lego fooling. I kind of agree. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a big step up from when it was. I think it's cool how it, like, physically falls apart. You can see the burns. I really like it, to be honest. But I feel like if you just gave the pieces a bit more weight, that would, like, fix it all. I don't know if you can do that, like, in the physics engine, but, you know, I still think it's a very cool step up. Anyway, fraud. Awesome layer. Okay, and we're in fraud. Okay, nice. Yeah, fraud is really cool. You know, one thing I love about fraud, literally, we're already getting into it, how minimal this is, how, like, tight this corridor is, and even, okay, this might be being like, an English teacher where it's like, oh, what colour's the red door? And it's just like, okay, it's fucking red, there's nothing to it, but the fact this corridor angles off, it's kind of like, it's unexpected. You're like, what the fuck, what's behind this corridor? Just for, like, that brief second, I really like that. And yeah, I love how minimal and enclosed this is. I don't know, it's really cool compared to, like, how massive the ending of 7-4 was, how, like, bombastic, dynamic, and big it was. And then obviously this is all unnerving for all the reasons every video essayist has already said thousands of times. And we're gonna go in. I fucking love the music here. It's like one of my favourite soundtracks. In absentia longos. Anyway, that was clean, wasn't it? I like Providences. They're one of the best enemies in this game. Up with Gutsunks and Gutsumen. I don't know, they're really cool. They're more dynamic than fucking Virtues, which are kind of just stage hazards. I don't mind them, but at the end of the day, they are just stage hazards. But I guess that's fine. Okay, good parry. Yeah, that's fun. I love doing that. You know, one thing I wonder about the end of this game, like, when Treachery releases and everything, will we ever get answers on, like, some of the deeper stuff on the Tree of Life? Because it's still such an unknown, I feel like. Like, I never see any lore stuff. I know it's probably quite integrated with the alchemical stuff. But, like, everyone was really confused by the statue, I think. At least I think. I don't know. I don't keep up with, like, the lore Discord thing, because it's fucking Ultrakill Discord. No offense to Ultrakill Discord, but you suck. Most of you, not all of you. You know what? I was really really disappointed that I didn't go into fraud completely blind. Like, the fact that I watched that trailer in the Summer Games Fest, or was it the Summer Games Fest? PC Game Show, that was it, in 2025, which is so long ago. I'm really glad it was just 8-1 and not 8-2, because I think 8-2 holds a lot more stuff. Especially, well, 8-3 later fraud is like, I'm really glad they didn't show much of that at all. But I still feel like, I don't know. I was disappointed that I got to see the Spiral city thing. Like, you know what I mean, the fake out exit and stuff. Because I feel, oh my god, if I went into fraud blind and I saw that fake out exit, and I saw, like, the Spiral city, I would be in shock. Like, even more than I was in shock. I just really, really wish I got to have that experience, and I don't know, the greed got to me, the Ultrakill drought, which is why, in a way, I'm really, oh my god, Sharpshooter, Jesus Christ. That was kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah, in a way, I am really glad they're not showing anything for Treachery, because I feel, again, my greed would get to me and I'd watch all the shit. Anyway, coolest fake out exit ever. I wish they, yeah, one thing, hi Garyon, I wish they got, like, the P rank to start, like, showing. I feel like that would just be so cool. But, like, that one thing, like, again, pet peeve, because I'm so, like, ingrained in this game. I have so many pet peeves just because I know it so well. I don't know, I think, like, it would be so cool if it started showing, like, the ranking and stuff. But oh well, just to, like, cement, like, the fakeness, and you're like, what the fuck? Because it does, like, switch the screen. Like, even to just start doing it, not the whole thing. I don't know, I feel like it'd be really cool. But it's fine as is. I think it's, like, definitely cool enough as it is. Also, I love doing this. Nope. Unless I miss, because I suck. I won't make it. Hitting Providences with jackhammers is really fun, because you know you're not supposed to. I don't know, I love it. It's so cool. It's like hitting Virtues with jackhammers. It just feels right. I like this. It's not a portal or anything, it's just simple. But yeah, I really wish, like, they would do that. Like, get the little ranking on. It would be really cool. Oh, you know what? A-S, because that came out. I still like this. I keep saying I like stuff, but I do. I like that little ramp there. It's very intuitive. And it's, like, built into the design. A-S, like, they showed one screenshot, that's probably all we're gonna get. Which is fair enough, it is a secret level. But, you know, that looks really interesting. I think this is, like, because I like to think I'm pretty good at, like, trying to interpret what, like, the gimmick is for something in this game when it comes to, like, the leaks they put on. Like, for example, the video for the encores when they first came out, before, like, I knew what the word encore meant, because I'm a little dumbass, because I would have just given it away. Yeah, before I knew what it meant, like, the first time I saw the trailer... Where's that schism? Oh. I guessed that it was, like, this is V1 going back after the end of the campaign and revisiting all these areas, just because it was like, why are the machines in, like, upper layers of, you know, Prelude and stuff? And that's why it's, like, frozen over. And I was like, damn, I'm quite proud of myself for guessing that. Maybe it wasn't that, like, hard to guess. I don't fucking know. But, anyway, what I'm trying to make the point is, I have no idea what A-S is going to be. Yeah, everyone knows, like, each secret level is, like, trying to, like, recreate a genre of video game, which I think is such a cool way of, like, I don't know. Like, more games should do that, I feel like. Just experimenting with genres. They don't have to be good, because it's a secret level. It's really cool, I think. Like, a little love letter to video games. I love it. And, like, they're all not bad. I mean, fishing games is obviously, like, a joke. It's not an actual genre. I mean, it is kind of an actual genre, but whatever. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Also, whoa, mirror. But yeah, anyway, I have no idea. People have been saying job simulator, but, like, really? Is that prominent enough? I mean, it's obviously, like, a job place where you work, because we got Employee of the Month. I think it's cool. Also, it's interesting. I noticed, I don't know, this might just be, like, something so arbitrary and not meaning anything, but, like, I feel like, I can't remember, the last 3 photos of V1 maybe were, like, a little bit greyed out more than the others, which was interesting. I don't know what that means. I find it funny though that it's like, you know, every single one of them is V1 because he's the only one working there. Not he, whatever, it's. This is such a cool room. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea, because, like, I can't see it being a job simulator, because I feel like that's, yeah, too, I don't know, random. Like, it doesn't feel like a determined genre, but then again, if someone said fishing simulator, I probably wasn't immediately think, oh, okay, also, fix that, please. I hate that. I don't, you know, I don't hate it. It's not brain-breaking, but it's just annoying. Or, when a hook point is in between a portal, like any hook point, even Providence hook points, they do that for some reason. It's very strange. That was weird. I didn't kill all of you, fuck you. But yeah, I honestly have no clue. I'm trying to find, like, commentary I can put for it, but, like, I don't know what it would be, so I can't give any commentary. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but it did it there for a split second, the hook point. It's fine, I guess. But, you know, still, pet peeve. This is awesome. I don't know why, I just really like this. It's like again. It's like the conglomeration of, like, the aesthetic of, like, Workhouse, and it's not actually, like, architecturally making sense. I know, like, fraud, like, obviously architecturally doesn't make sense, but it's to the point where we're in the office, now we're in, like, you know, the parking lot, and it's just trying to, like, copy this aesthetic and doesn't really understand the logical, like, how it all fits together. I don't know, it's just really cool, like, showing, like, how it's fraud. It's not actually, like, this area. I love that. It's cool. I don't know if that's on purpose, but if it is, that's, like, a cool representation of, like, this mimicry of real life. You know, more than the fucking, like, gravity shift there is. Wait, what? You're not all dead? How dare you? Why am I lagging so much, by the way? This is a cool arena. I do think they should make the startup, like, where the filth will come shorter. It's not, like, some people act like it's the worst thing ever. It's not terrible. Like, it's 1 or 2 seconds, and ultra players are just super impatient. But it is a bit annoying when you're trying to be as fast as possible, and, like, it feels like your speed is out of your control. But, like, the tiniest pet peeve ever, literally just to make it so, like, after your first playthrough, it doesn't do that whole startup thing, and, like, you can just get to it. But again, like, tiniest thing. Hello, where are we? There you are. Oh, you know what I should yap about? I should yap about my PNG tuber. Okay. Bye. This is like one of the hardest arenas coming up, by the way. I mean, a bit. I don't know. I find it hard for some reason. But yeah, my PNG tuber thing. I love it. I mean, you know, that sounds really arrogant. I love my art. Like, whoa. But, no, I think it's cool. Like, I'm glad I did it. I can't believe I haven't done it sooner. Ow, that hurt, you asshole. It's very intuitive. Like, I'm using PNG Tuber Plus, which I guess everyone probably uses because it's like really easy. But it was fun. I'm glad I have it. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like a cool thing. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe my art is like really bad and not intuitive to interpret at all. But my eyes are supposed to be like the night sky, if that makes sense. Because Luna is like moon. Spacey stuff. Whoa. Also, solar eclipse in the UK recently. That was really cool. Sorry, that was random. But if you're living in the UK, you know what I'm yapping about. I didn't see the meteor shower, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's a cool thing. It makes me feel like a proper YouTuber, even though I don't get any views, but it's fine. That's not why I'm doing this. It's more just because I'm like TISM, and I need to get words out about this fucking game that is hyperfixation. Okay, don't die, please. There we go. Still got the P rank. Hopefully. This next arena, I don't know how I feel about. Like, not even as an arena on its own. I feel like as an arena on its own, it's like fine. And I like how it plays with like the portals on the side. I think that's cool. And like the Maurice can shoot through the portals. But like pacing wise in the level as a whole, it feels like it shouldn't exist. It kind of breaks it up. Like, I feel like that Deathcatcher arena should be the last arena. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me, like, being nitpicky because I don't like small arenas, and, like, I'm biased. But, I don't know, it just feels really random. Like, I feel like we go through, like, the final battle when we return through the skull to the original, like, where we were before, and that feels like a natural conclusion to the main section of the level. And then we go to the boss fight. Like, obviously after the Deathcatcher arena. Because, like, we need a little final arena. But this feels like, because it's such a small arena, it doesn't feel like a final arena. Even though it's probably, like, it's harder. It's quite a hard arena. But it just, I don't know. If they're going to do another shopping marketplace, which I get, if they want to establish that as a more prominent area, like we've only seen it once in, like, 8-2, then I feel like make it bigger. Make it a proper, like, final arena. I feel like it's treating it as a final arena just for, like, its enemy count, but then it's kind of ignoring like the composition of the arena, like you know, spatially. A tiny snippet. I still like love the pacing of this level. It's probably my favorite level in Fraud. Also, hi, I love this so much. I love the little laughing track. I just think it's really cool. And then I love how this probably isn't intentional, but you need to like get up these stairs, and chances are you're not super like controlled with your aerial movement at this point in the game. So, like, you might bump into this and be reminded of that and be like, what? Why is that there? And then it's, like, coherent pacing-wise with the laughing eye. And it's like, whoa, narrative storytelling? That's coherent? Anyway. Me. This is awesome. This is probably my favourite reveal in Fraud. Okay, wait, maybe not 8-3 space reveal, but... yeah, this is really cool. I was kind of disappointed when I found out it was actually the Mirror Reaper that was controlling you. Just because I feel like, I don't know, I guess it's probably like meant to be metaphorical of hell, but it would have been cool if that was directly hell, like showing its control over you. But I don't know, I don't like Mirror Reaper laws really like, I don't know, abstract, like it feels really, I don't know how to describe it. Also hi, bye. Because very little is known on it, the Eternal doesn't give much, and it's just like, what is this thing? Why was it created? What's its origin? Like, we kind of get that with Garyon, and it's like, okay, Fringe Fury, it might be trying to free souls, and like, it's a demon. We already know how demons are made. But if it's an amalgamation of husks, again, we can assume it's probably made by Hell, because it's like this fucked up experiment. But why? Like, what purpose does it serve? I don't understand. Like, it's really weird. I don't see how we would get more lore on it, because there's only one in existence. which is kind of a shame. I wish they made it like a reoccurring thing. Like, I know it appears in Cybergrind, but it would be cool to have an encore. To be fair, we probably will, because we've had like Agony and Tundra in encore. And there's only supposed to be one of those. Well, 2, I guess. But, you know. But yeah, I yearn to know more about the fucking Mirror Reaper. It probably isn't that interesting, but I don't know. I just want to know why it puppets us. Like, is it intelligent enough to do so? Is it just trying to trick us? Is there nothing more to it? Because when I first saw it, I assumed it was Hell, like, trying to visually show, like, it has control of us. And it probably is, like, that's the metaphor it's going for. But again, I thought it was more direct, and learning it wasn't, was a bit like, oh, that's a shame. That would have been cool, like, story-wise. How did I miss that? Okay, whatever. Hot take. I feel like if this Scatterman, like, walks out of his little square, he should still be, like, reverse gravity. The same with this one. Like, when enemies are inside this square, they shouldn't reverse gravity, just because it gets confusing. Like, and there's obviously the bug where the Gutterman does the little flip thing. And I feel like if it affected you, it probably would have been fine, but because it doesn't affect you, I don't like the inconsistency of where it affects enemies, but not you. Like, the tiniest nitpicks, I know. This video is literally just me giving, like, the tiniest nitpicks ever of this fucking game. It's because Fraud is new and I have, like, yaps on it. And because I love this game. I know it sounds like I'm complaining about Fraud a lot, but honestly, it is my favourite layer. And it's one of my favourite gaming experiences, like, ever. And that's not, like, a light statement. So, you know. What's my coins? Okay, fuck you. Powers are cool. I really love the introduction of powers here. I feel like it's such a unique and, like, dynamic concept full of, like, don't die, using, like, you can only attack one at once, which it's just so cool, and I love how it introduces 2 at the same time. I suck ass. Okay. We're not getting our P rank, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I like how it introduces 1 to establish, like, what this thing is. It fights like Gabriel, so you're already experienced with it. So it's not so much of a whiplash to, like, try and learn this attacks, because you've kind of already, like, you know, at this point in the game, you've fought Gabriel twice. So you should know what he's all about. Also, my coins, what? And I don't know, I like the progression of, like, you start with 1, then you level up to 2, and you're like, oh, okay, they have this mechanic where you can only attack at once. And it's really intuitive because you notice it. And, like, the juggling of them, like, when you have 2, it's harder to juggle them, and it's kind of showcasing that. And it's like, what? That's so cool! Like, you need, like, prioritization. It's like, yeah, I don't know. That's just awesome. They're, like, one of my favourite enemies. You're not dead? Damn, okay. Okay, I suck. I actually suck, I can't parry, what the fuck? But yeah, they're awesome. They're just a really cool enemy. They're really dynamic. I love the kind of enemies in this game that are layered like that. Like, don't get me wrong, like, the fodder enemies are good. Like, you know, they serve their purpose. Sentries are cool. Sentries are layered, though. Like, I feel like all the enemies in this game are really layered to almost the same extent as its weapons. And I like how they all uniquely interact with this game's weapons. And even, like, fighting styles. It's just, this shit's so cool. But yeah, I like how, oh, hello. Directly after we fight the powers, we're introduced to the new mechanic of fighting them aerially, with this big open, like, aerial space. Because they are, like, an aerial enemy, like, you need to deal with them on the fly. This fucking guy. Also, this is an awesome mechanic. Anyway, he's dead, so I can't even showcase it. I kind of did with the Cerberus, but, you know. Yeah, they're awesome. And they also, like, introduced, like, using them in an arena. Like, it's very sudden. And, like, that's very hard to pull off and do it well. Like, introduce an enemy so quickly and use them so quickly in combat. Like, especially one as complex as the power. But, like, he pulls it off. Like, Hikita pulls it off really well. And it's, like, so cool. I love the power. The power's awesome, man. I also like how they lore-wise kind of, like, show this progression of, like, why the angels are in hell. Like, they're looking after Gabriel, and it kind of just showcases the absolute severity of Gabriel's actions. I think that is cool. Also, actually, we're here, so why fucking not? Golden Arm. What the fuck is going on with that, may I ask? Because, like, What? It's not in fraud? What? It must be like a thing for Encore. In which case we know it's not a thing like an environmental interaction thing like the Whiplash, because we would have seen it in 0-E and 0-1. Sorry, 1-E and 1-E. No, what the fuck? I can't speak. 1-E and 0-E. So I find that, like, interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what it could be, because, like, we're obviously set up with, like, the perfect example with the power arms, but obviously, like, they're useless, which is, like, they must be fucking with us. Like, they must just be fucking with the early access players with that, surely. Maybe it has, like, a lore reason for why we get the yellow arm later. Like, maybe there's a special power? But then that leads me to think maybe it's Gabriel, and they're trying to mimic Gabriel with their arm, and that's why Gabriel's arm is actually not useless. I really don't want it to be swords. Imagine if it's just not a thing. Like, they were gaslighting us because they removed all the other yellow variants from this game. I swear I'd be quite annoyed. It's fine. Like, this game has good enough arsenal, I'm going to be honest. That would be funny, though. But, you know, I have been really looking forward to, like, another arm, because usually they are, I don't know, they're, like, cool. They all have, like, really unique use cases just because there are so few of them, compared to weapons, which are really abundant, so they don't have, like, specific standout moments. I mean, some, like, don't get me wrong, they do, but when it's so, like, muddied isn't the right word, because this game's weapons are designed so well, but when they're so, like, saturated, like, there are so many weapons, you don't get specific, like, standout, absolute, you know, this really aids me, like, all the time. Whereas, like, the feed packer aids you all the time, like, it's really overpowered. Not overpowered, because it involves a lot of skill, but the feed packer is really good. The Whiplash, like, this game wouldn't be the same without it. The Knuckle Blaster, it's probably the least of the few, but, like, for fodder, it's probably your most significant direct attack on fodder enemies. Also, I hate they fucking put mannequins in this room. It's, like, one of the worst choices in this layer, in my opinion, if not the worst choice. Yeah, I hate they put mannequins in this room. Everything else about this room is cool and, like, creative and cool. The mannequins not so much. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, the really hard enemies to find that can crawl on walls? Yes, let's put it in the really convoluted moving wall room. Like, fuck me. Even the Gutterman I don't so much like here, because I feel like all the flying enemies work really well in this room. The Maurice, the Virtue, the Providences, because they're flying, they're independent of the walls that are so interchangeable and unpredictable. Whereas the Gutterman's, like, flying all over the place, and it's really like, Barisi, I need to kill him. He's always the last guy I need to kill, and it just kind of gets a bit annoying. But other than that, like, the actual physical design of the room is, what the hell, really cool. It's just kind of let down by the enemy placement. Anyway, I like this section a lot more. I think, like, compared to the moving room section, I love this. Like, the shifting. It's a really unique idea. I don't know. When I heard of the portals, like, I predicted a lot of what they were going to do with the portals, like the reverse gravity, like the shifting of gravity and stuff. Because, like, you know, it's basic portal, like, rule of cool. But, I did not predict this. This is awesome. Like, the shifting, I think it's so cool. It's really cool, like, shifting the environments and fitting them all in. It's just so cool. I love this game. And, like, fitting all the previous layers in and how they are all, like, interchangeable and, like, part of the same system, it makes it feel like, which I love. Also, die. The one thing about this room, the fucking sentries, like, how you can't hear them, I hate that. Why can't you hear them? Let us hear them, Hikita. Like, can we just change that? Like, why would that be a thing? I don't get it. Because it's just, yeah, you don't, like, it's dangerous and it feels unnecessarily unfair. I don't like it. Especially with the shifting portals, you don't know what state they're in, so it's like, what's... Yeah, that's, like, one thing, though. Other than that, like, this whole section's awesome. The final arena, fucking great. It's such good design. The final arena is so cool. This room, I wish, like, wish there was combat in that room, because it would be so cool. Like, flashback to 1-E Encore, that one amazing room that kind of makes the entire level. It's literally that, but, like, more dynamic, like, with the portals and stuff. Akita, please, what the fuck? Like, the best substitute we get is this, because this is, like, really awesome. really dynamic. Really makes you have to like be spatially aware. Enemy prioritization is a big one. It blends so many like skill-based features all in one room. It's so cool. I love it. But yeah, I wish there was combat in that room, and like you're flipping between it. Nothing too hard because you obviously have the death ceiling. But floor, death floor. But I don't know. It just feels like a really empty room for no reason. Otherwise, just get rid of it. But oh well, it was not to be. You know what? This is really good fake out exit, because you're at the point where it's like it's such a long level. You've done both the fucking skull doors, so it feels like, okay, that's 2 skull doors. Oh, where's the spawn? There's the spawn. And you're like, okay, surely it's the end. They wouldn't do 2 fake outs. That would be crazy. Because maybe this is dumb. Maybe I'm the only person who thought this, but I genuinely thought that was the exit. I was like, damn, that's a good level. Because they packed so much in. I was like, no way they're going to do more. They've already done a fake out exit. It would be weird to do another one in the exact same way. But then, no, fuck space. And I love how it's like a stage and like it flips down, and they actually did like a unique like fake out exit. It's not just rinse and repeat of the other one. Hello? Hello? Okay. And it's just like you don't expect it. Like you're at the point in fraud where like, okay, I'm expecting anything. Like anything can happen. And then like you just get proved wrong and again and again, and you're like, I genuinely just I had to pause my game. I sat in my chair for 15 minutes and I just started laughing, like, just for no reason, because I love this game. It's like, this gravity gimmick is so cool. Again, I talked about how it can be challenging for first time players, but as an early access player, it is early access. I don't know if I enunciated that well. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's so cool. I'm so glad they did this. And I love this progression. It's like subtle, but you might notice it. And like the 3 idols, I think it's really cool. And it's like the hideous mass is like the centerpiece. This is such a cool like level design compositionally. Like you're circling it. It's like the kind of thing you could only do in this environment. And it's like, this game is so cool. This was the part in Fraud where I realized this was like one of my favorite gaming experiences, like ever. Just for the sheer absurdity of it. And when I like actually narratively analyzed it, it gets cooler because, I don't know, to me this is like hell breaking its pretense and fraud of like pretending it is not what it is, if that makes sense. It's like dropping the pretense of humanity, and it's just kind of showing you like, this is the universe. Like, it is so beyond our reality, it can create universes. And we see that like obviously set up in the A-3 book here. It's like pronouncing itself. It's like, getting rid of its fraud. It's like exposing its fraud, and it's like, it's been lying to you this whole time. It's been pretending to be something it isn't. It's been pretending to be the lust city full of love. It's been pretending to be limbo, the false paradise, and like it's been embodying these human traits, when behind it all it's just like the the universe. Like the nothingness and the absolute sheer power of the universe. That, to me at least, that's what it is. I don't think that's an intentional like narrative message, but like to me that's what it represents. And I think it's just such an impactful like shift in this game, like in the game as a whole. So I love Fraud, even if it is buggy as fuck. I'm trying to avoid like criticism on the bugs because they are bad. Like, I'm not going to deny it. This game needs a bug fix, like update specifically for the bugs, because it is bad. And like, if I was a game developer, I wouldn't feel safe, or at least comfortable releasing my game in the state Ultrakill is in. But I'm going to try and ignore that, because assuming, hopefully, that it does get fixed, as a critique of the level design and game design, I don't think that should be taken into account. Also, fuck me, this ending is cool. The guy specifically I was watching who complained about Space Section specifically didn't like this arena. Again, I think it's the aerial movement that the game expects you to have at such an early stage. But for me, as an early access player, is awesome. The power is awesome. We're bringing back the power. It's like, you know, it feels so long ago that you encountered it. It's like it's throwing everything at you. I think it's this. It's like the arena that tells you you're coming far. And the music fade out at the end is just really cool. I'm really glad they included that. Anyway, A-4, the low point of fraud. It's, yeah, I don't know. Aesthetically, it's incredible. The boss itself, not so much. The gameplay, I'm gonna get this out there. I hate the movement control, like the free fall thing. It's just bad. Like, this game has such a diverse and unique and creative, even like, you know, movement set and basis, and this kind of just completely subtracts from that. And like, it's probably okay. I suck. What? I'm too busy yapping. It's the only way they would do like the free fall. Like, they can't make it so, you know, you're walking and like jumping about, because that's dumb. Of course not. You're falling, and like, I get it, but it's not that it's executed badly. Even if it was executed really well, it would still not work, just because it doesn't fit with what the game expects of you. Which I think is a real shame, because the climax of Fraud had the like potential to be really awesome. And like, design-wise, visually, Geron is such an awesome boss. Like, he's probably my favourite demon design. Well, he, she, they, it, whatever. And like, the falling is cool, and the passing of all the cities and stuff. But they're trying to fit in mechanics that just don't work in this game. Like, this game does really well at striving for the, you know, the dual kind of battles, I call them. Like, the Sisyphus Primes, the Minos Primes, the Gabriels, where you're, like, one-on-one, and it's, like, this game does a really good job of that. And, like, Leviathan's not bad, I guess. Hideous Mass is good, but that's quite small scale, it's more dynamic. I feel like. This, like, again, aesthetically, this is all awesome. But it's trying to fit in a bullet hell into a boomer shooter, and unfortunately it fails. There is a world in which it works, but it would be really hard and kind of contrived. And I don't know. I like, obviously they couldn't make it so the dragon boss... Okay, that's awesome. I should have parried that, and I forgot you can't dash through them. I kind of need to rewire my brain for that. I don't know. I sound like I hate it a lot. To be fair, it's not terrible. Like, it is on par with Leviathan in my opinion. Maybe a bit better. Just because I don't like the tail section of Leviathan and how, like, finicky it is. But, I do like... I like this. I like the idea. I less like the blue attack. They're kind of annoying. I like the yellow, and I like how it opens up to kill. I feel like it's cool. And the use of the soul orbs, introducing them as a more, like, you know, versatile... What the hell, that was really long. Property is cool. I like the pink shockwaves. But I feel like just systematically, like, there's no specific thing that's holding it down. It's just like the whole concept of what it's trying to do kind of pulls it back from being super good. Don't die, please. But, you know, again, like, I love it aesthetically, like, pacing-wise, it's really cool. It's one of... I don't know what to say. That's it. That's my cup of tea, really. I think it is cool. It's just, you know... I don't think it requires a rework. I've died 3 times, by the way. I think for Brutal, it's horrendous. I think Brutal needs a rework for it. Because I think it's one of the worst experiences I've had in this game is playing that on Brutal. Violent and Below is really cool. The ending narratively is probably the best narrative reveal in this game. Just, I love this so much. I was gobsmacked when I first saw it. I think it's such a... Oh, it's so good. This was my favourite narrative reveal in the game. And that's why it's such a shame to me that the boss fight isn't amazing. I mean, it's good. What the hell, by the way? It's good. I feel like I'm shitting on it a lot. I just personally can see where it could have been better. Anyway, poster. City Dead Sun. I'm pretty sure the Dead Sun is God. I don't know. It's probably, like, really obvious. Anyway, that was Fraud. Thank you for listening to my yap session. Holy shit, a bee in time. That's disgusting. I usually P rank that. That's bad. Okay, yeah. Thank you for watching up to this point. That really means a lot, honestly. And yeah, okay, bye. 何か起きそう女の共感五感同感咲いた第六感円を描く人混みの中心男女数人で合わせるルーティンブーミンブーミンブーミンシステムが奏でるビートに耳釘付け塗り替えられた乙女の思春期学校じゃもはや異端分子いつの間にいつもここへ集う次第に見る方からやる方 Yes, let's show さあカウントダウン3、2、1The candy heart カルケリズム体で感じなそして We are candy girl カルケリズム始めるカーニバル We are the candy heart カルケリズム体で感じなまずは Me